Hello. Okay, so I'll get right into it. In the day one post of the 5 days to find your path to purpose, we talked about address the stress. So this is what I'm talking about today. A little bit of my story is at like a few years ago, I woke up one day and I couldn't move my neck. And it was more than just like, I've got a kink in my neck. It was like I could not move it for absolutely no reason. My body felt like I'd been hit by a bus. Like I just was so achy and sore. And I was getting sick very frequently. I would get cold sores, and like to get one a year is fine and normal, but I was getting them like every couple of weeks, like once a month. And I was just like, this is not normal. Like something is up. So I just want to encourage you to listen to your body. If you feel like you're approaching burnout and you're getting very exhausted, run down, and I mean like, yeah, if you're a mom, that's a bit normal, but there are times I think in motherhood where we're told like, you're tired, that's normal. But that is to a point. There is a point that I believe where it is not normal. Like brain fog is actually not normal. Being exhausted all the time, having zero energy, that is not normal. Not being able to like function, it's not normal. I mean, maybe if you're in the newborn stage of parenting and you sleep like 2 hours a night, okay, I'll give you that. I've been there, done that. But it got to a point where I was like, this is not normal. And I went to my doctor and she did the blood test and she was like, everything looks fine. Like you look good. Like I don't really know what, like physically there's nothing to address. So like, let's talk about your lifestyle. And she was right. There was things in my lifestyle I needed to address. So like, I needed to learn how to say no to people gracefully. I needed to learn how to set healthy boundaries for myself. And then I needed to learn how I actually like recover and recharge versus just resting. So like getting home at the end of the day and just like watching Netflix, that's resting, but it's not recharging or recovering. So I needed to address that. But I knew there was also something physically going on with my health because I was getting sick all the time. Like I had no immune system. It couldn't fight off my cold sores or anything. So I went to the naturopath and I went to a live blood analysis. So basically they just like prick your finger and put a little bit of blood, and she looks at it under a microscope right then in front of you and looks at the shape of your blood cells and tells you what your body needs based on that. It's really fascinating. So together I learned that my cortisol levels, so my stress hormone, was way too high, and that depressed my immune system. So my immune system could not fight off anything anymore. Secondly, my body was too acidic. So like drinking way too much coffee because I was in survival mode and had no energy. Like way too much coffee and not enough water. I eat pretty healthy, but too much processed food or like fast food can cause your body to be acidic. We were drinking tap water at the time, which can also be acidic and make your body too acidic. Stress makes your body acidic. Stress brings inflammation into your body. Just the whole picture was like too much cortisol. My pH was way too acidic, and I needed to figure out how to balance them. So that's what I did. I had to stop drinking coffee for a few months. I think I took like 6 months off coffee. I did a detox, and she gave me like this very specific recipe of like a pH balancing recipe, and to make my body more on the, not on the basic side, but like balance it out. And we switched over our water to a water filter that is pH balanced water. And those things, and then also learning how to handle stress in a healthy way, boundaries, things like that I talked about, all really helped form this like picture for me of what actual like wellness looks like. I also like detoxed a bunch of our products to be natural products because the synthetic version of those wasn't helping my body either. I was having like skin conditions and stuff. And now, like, I don't get the brain fog. I don't get the mood swings. I don't get, I mean, like, yeah, I get tired, but I still have energy at the end of the day, enough to, like, work on other projects and things. And that addressing that, like those two things, just changed everything for me. And now I know how to avoid burnout, and I can actually tell, I can feel inside my body when I'm drinking too much coffee, when I'm feeling like a little bit run down. I'm like, oh, my body is too acidic, I need to like take a break from these things. They recommended too, like at the time they said, just like cancel everything and just focus on yourself and putting your health as a priority, because that was something I wasn't doing. I was saying yes to too many other things, and it wasn't putting my health as a priority so that I could take care of my family, like myself and my family. So the first thing I recommend, like when it comes to addressing stress, is learning how to say no and how to have healthy boundaries. And that's something I'm going to address in one of these 5 days as well. So we'll get into that. The second thing is like know your body and start to learn when your body is getting too close to the edge of burnout. Go to the doctor, get a blood panel done, or a naturopath, whatever it is you need to do to figure out like where your body is actually sitting on a scale of like wellness to not, to like say if there's a line for wellness, for like feeling energized and having energy for your kids, and you're not like losing your patience on them all the time, or you're feeling like you have energy to do things and hang out with your friends, versus falling below the wellness line of like, and I don't just mean like getting a cold or getting sick. It's like you just feel bitter all the time and angry and you don't know why, and like you just don't feel well, right? Like you feel like you need to reset. That's falling below the wellness line. So know yourself and what you need, like physically on a real physical level, whether that's like addressing the diet change that you know you need to make, or getting more exercise in, just like really simple, easy ways. But beyond that too, like detoxing toxins from your body, things like that. There's so much information out there that it's really easy to find, and like going and talking with your doctor or a naturopath about it. I hope that's helpful. I hope that gives you like a starting point, just a place to start. Because if your body is constantly in a state of fighting stress because you're like always worried about something, or maybe you've got a big life change going on right now, or you're like just kind of tired of motherhood right now, because we go through exhausting phases, right? Find kind of where like you should be. I'm kind of losing track of my train of thoughts here, but I think I've said everything I want to say. Just find like a starting place. You don't have to tackle everything at once. You don't have to do it all, but just find that starting place of like, okay, I'm committed to finding that line of wellness for myself, for my body, and where it should be. Maybe you need to take a few days away. I just saw a lady in a Facebook group that I'm in saying she's taking like a 3-day vacation from her family. And I was like, that sounds like, I love my family, but that sounds great. And just for her to like recenter and to like do the things that she needed to do to like being around her family again. And it wasn't because she doesn't like her family. It was like her, like she just needed that time to breathe and to focus on like just reading a book and drinking a hot coffee with no one talking to her. And sometimes life can get so overwhelming that I think we just need that time to like just be away and process and recover. Anyways, I'm going to be going into this into the other days, so I don't want to talk about it too much now. But let me know if that's helpful, or if you need more of like a step-by-step, like 1, 2, 3. Or like, you know, what's the first thing that you're gonna do to get out of this like constant state of stress where your body is in inflammation mode and maybe too acidic and needs to like kind of just come back down to that just good place of like you feel good. So I'll leave it at that. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll talk again soon.